Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everyone. When you are working with an interior designer, it comes with a number of advantages. Now, first off, the professionalism, the experience, the creativity, the ideas, all of that. But also, many designers are aligned with different organizations, different facilities that help them get the job done. It's the stuff that we can't do. And that adds to the exclusivity of working with someone. We're going to look at that today. She's live on location. Kristine Vowles is with us. She's the owner of Luxury Look LLC and back with us. How you doing today, Kristine?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good, good, good. Now you are at some kind of designer's warehouse, but this is not for the general public, right?
No, so we are located, I'm visiting Schumacher today, which is a wallpaper and fabric store. And it's only open to the public. They do have locations in New York and Dallas and other places, but they do have it here in Scottsdale. And we've done quite a bit of work with them. They've got some interesting things that they've really added to our tool belt now that's making life a lot more interesting and fun. So we get to have a lot of fun here with textures, and they're matching. We have from fabrics to textiles to wallpapers to paint now that can all coordinate. You can go as fun or loud as you want or as calm as you'd like.
Can you give some examples how things all kind of come together?
Let's show you. So this is called Backdrop. This is their line of paint. So we can pick color of paint, and they have all their paints that match the fabrics. So this here's a wallpaper. It's very textured. And this here's a coordinating fabric. So you can do a wide variety of fabrics. So I have about 10, 15 different fabrics to go with this particular textured wallpaper. This is a grass cloth, which I really like using.
Yeah. It's got some texture, but it's not over the top. And it's just very carefully stated, not hitting you in the face, but it's not just a color on a wall.
Exactly. And this year, green is really in, which is one of my favorite colors.
Been hearing that. And you're wearing green, it looks like.
I have green. I have shimmering green today. But look at this here. I don't know if you can tell, but look at the textures.
Yeah.
In this green pattern. It kind of has some metallic silver to it. But look at one of the fabric choices.
Wow.
So you put these together. So you would have like your bedding or your drapes or your pillows with this and the wallpaper here. And then we'd have a coordinating paint on the other side of the wall. So this is really a great impact wall. It's not something you'd want to do on every wall in your room, but this would be a great backdrop for a headboard behind the bed or in the powder room or even in a formal living room.
I guess I've heard that called an accent wall. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yes, be an accent wall. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, let's just go there. So that pattern, that's wallpaper, correct?
This is the wallpaper.
Yeah. What color would you pick to tie that all in together?
If I were to use this fabric with it, I would go with probably a copper because it's got the copper in this fabric here, and bronze, or actually I'd probably just do bronze hardware. And I would do a very soft, let me find the one here, like a very soft fabric, like an accent chair.
Nice.
So this is cream with a little bit of gold mixed through it. So we could do bronze, gold, and I think all the metals. Actually, all the metals would be pretty with this concept here. I don't know if you can see that.
I can actually see it pretty clear, what we're looking at. And for those listening, what we're looking at is wallpaper matching pattern for, let's say, bedspread, or it could be pillows or whatever it might be, but it's all tied together using this design, call it warehouse. And You can get hard goods
Showroom.
there too. Show them. Thank you. Um, Even pillows. I see pillows in the background.
Yes,
Are
they have all
those
they have
individually
their
for sale?
fabrics.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a sample of some of this behind us is a sample of the size of pillows, the firmness of the pillows, and then we just buy the fabric and have them made. This is a really, really cool print. So we have this here on the back. And then this is the other side.
Wow. We're talking very bold here, especially where we just came from.
Yes. So we can do from comb to this one here is a really fun, kind of like boho Moroccan.
Mm,
And for those of us in Arizona, we have like this pattern.
wow. Wow. And these are just suggestions. You can just deviate from that, but this is like, so I guess a baseline that you can show a client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we come in here, we get all of our samples and put it in a storyboard and then coordinate everything with it.
Hmm.
So we can go comb. This here's fabric to go with it. And then we have additional fabric.
Wow. Mm. Is this just one of the facilities that you have access to?
Yeah, we carry we work with over about 180 vendors.
And when you go to these, is it, you can, let's say you want a certain share, they would have it, or they would be able to get it for you.
This showroom is just wallpapers and wallpaper paint and fabric, but just 2 doors down is where we get a lot of our furniture.
Got it. Wow, this is like fascinating. Like it's almost like peel back the layers, and it's almost like kid in a candy store.
It is. We go around the corner and then we have our hardware. We have a rug store that's available to us. We can custom make anything in this entire facility, or we can buy it as is.
Amazing. Um, how often do you use consumer connected stores, or you just don't?
We will do consumer items when we have small pieces we need to do fill in, or if once we've got the entire design solidified and approved, and some of the pieces we want to get are going to be like, 20 some odd weeks out, we might try to find something that's a little more closer to the zip code and just switch it out to something that's retail.
Got it. Yeah, sometimes you can find a nice little find in a, insert name of big box store.
Yes.
But that doesn't, just because it's cheaper and, one of those consumer driven stores doesn't mean it's not something that, you can get.
Well, and I think that, what people seem to panic when they think about working with a designer is we can pick some unique pieces that bring in the wow and the interesting characters into the space, and then fill in the rest with something that's not so customized, or, it's not designer, it's just something we get, at a store on a shelf. So we tend to, we know where to put the impact and where to spend your money for long term. And then also where we can get away with finding things when you mix it in with all the other really cool stuff, it all looks like it's expensive. So there's just a trick to that.
Interesting point there. Yeah, it could be, it could be some pillows that you got from Home Goods, and
Yes, exactly.
and intersperse it with stuff that came from, let's say that warehouse or that showroom.
Right.
Nobody's ever going to know. It's really what works, I would imagine, what fits.
Yes, I mean, sometimes you find some interesting things at Home Goods. I mean, you can walk in there and find the coolest side table. I mean, you don't need to spend more than a couple $100 for a side table. If that's, sometimes we just put in a filler. We call it a filler. We can get a side table, a console, we can get a piece of art, some of our accessories. It's just kind of fun to go on the hunt. And then, but we wait for the retail stuff at the very end when we're done with the design job. And then that's where we cut back and save money.
Now, I know what it feels like when you walk into a store and you're looking for something or you're looking for inspiration. You see it and you're like, oh yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes. Do you get that same feeling when you're working with a client?
We do. My team and I, we started this thing between us where when we go to the markets or we're in a design store, even a Hobby Lobby or a Home Goods, and we take photos or purchase things and bring to our studio, and then we try to create a cool, fun design around that, and then we market that to our clients and say, we were thinking about you. This just inspired us. This is just something we've been working on for fun. This is something you'd like to have in your house. And we have been literally duplicating that over and over and over because they're like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest little setup. We just did that with a client for a powder room. We found a wallpaper that we were just bent on. We got to have a project with that wallpaper because we just fell in love with the wallpaper. So we sourced it out, sent it to a couple of our clients, and 3 of them said, I want that wallpaper. So we created 3 powder rooms for 3 different clients with utilizing different colors of that wallpaper. And we're now going to go in and have a photograph because the before and the after is just incredible.
So I'm feeling here, what's trending right now is even just looking in the background of the showroom and what you said, greens, and even the green patterns that you showed us look like they would even match what's in the background. And in the background is pillows that have a gold tone. There's one with some black and white, gold and white, grays. Is that what's pretty big right now? Yeah, and they all seem to be in. I don't know if that's just that section is, they're grouping everything together in those tones, but that seems to be what's pretty big right now.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes, you're exactly right. Those are pretty much the greens are making things fun. So we're keeping things, pretty calm, and then we're adding green. So a lot of greens are happening, and that's coming out in ways of bedding, artwork, rugs. So they're incorporating green in just about everything right now.
And I've heard that gold has made a comeback. And but when you first think of gold, you think of the tacky 80s gold toned things.
Totally.
It's not like that now, right?
No, and you can get the gold tones in so many different options as well. I like the champagne gold. It's really pretty. You can't tell if it's champagne or if it's gold. And then the satin gold. Satin gold is just gorgeous hardware.
Is satin like a bronzy kind of looking gold?
No, it's just a really soft gold. It's not bold in your face gold. Some people really like that, and others want a more subdued.
Is it okay if let's say it's hardware, things like that, to combine a silvery look or maybe a pewter look with that gold?
We do it all the time.
Oh, wow. And, I'm not the expert, but I'm looking in the background there and there's a pillow that, kind of would match what I was just saying. You got a gray pillow there, which could be the pewter. You got the gold one over there, and they look great together. Amazing.
Yes.
Wow. You need to be a designer to have access to this type of showroom, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's not open to the public.
Gotcha. Now I would imagine you're paying a little bit more, but you're getting a certain type of quality and convenience of knowing this is what you want. You're going to get exactly what you want.
But also you have to remember that designers get wholesale pricing. So we get pricing that others can't. I mean, if someone just off the street walked in here, they might sell them something, but you're going to be paying way above retail.
Wow. Okay.
So you
Gotcha.
can save money going through a designer coming into a design showroom.
I did not know that. Interesting. Right. That this is an eye opener here with you on location. Any other things that we might be able to find, or you might be able to find for a client in a facility like that?
Well, knit store, we have a drapery store. They just opened up a new furniture store knits to us, which is what you're hearing all the noise. Across the walkway here, in about 20 minutes, they're going to have Paris and Scottsdale event where they're showing all of the new European fabrics and textiles that are coming in, hitting the market. So markets are starting at the end of this month, and they will rotate from Dallas to Las Vegas to Atlanta to High Point, and they're bringing market to us here right now. So we get to see all the cool stuff before it actually hits. So it's going to be kind of fun.
So would I be saying this right in that you're seeing what is going to be trending before the rest of us even have any idea?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. How much in advance would you say?
In this case, only about a month.
Okay. Well, that's so cool. What's your favorite aspect, Kristine, about all of this? I don't think I've ever asked you, but what really makes you feel good about design?
Bringing to life what the clients dreamed. I love when we put together a look. Sometimes they'll just say, you just go do it. We interview them to the highest level, and then we put a project together, and they feel like that's exactly what I wanted. The fact that you listened to me, I guess it's the reveals. I love the reveals when the clients come in, and most of our clients don't live here. So when we're doing a project locally, we try to have everything done and surprise them. So when they come in, they think they're just going to see things in progress and then see it done. Getting the love notes. I get love notes from my clients all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What if you're working with somebody who's not there? I'm assuming they have a second home in the, Scottsdale area.
Mhm.
I would imagine that if it's a fabric or even a wallpaper, you can get a sample from the showroom and send it to them just so they have a better
Yes.
idea.
These are samples. Yep. We come in and get samples. And I had a client that were doing a job in England. They flew in for a meeting for a client, and I met them on the way to the airport and gave them a whole box of samples to take with them so that they can take it home to their family in England and go through and touch everything.
Didn't you have one project where I'm trying to remember now? You met somebody, maybe it was in the airport. Maybe that's the one you're telling me about. But
I think that was Belize, project in Belize.
yes, yes, and you just took them. You took them on
Shopping trip.
a shopping trip, just a very concentrated one. We're going here, we're going here, we're going there, and they made their selections. And then, so let me make sure I get this right. They have a place in Belize.
Mhm.
They came to see you. You went shopping locally in your region. I guess they have another home around there as well. And then you went to Belize and then got the project done.
So how that one happened, I was introduced to them by another client. They flew out here in Scottsdale. We met with them. They decided to move forward with the project. So all of us flew into Dallas, and I took them to the world market.
And
So
then
there's
how did this
4,000
translate?
stores.
How did you get it done in Belize though?
Oh, we had everything shipped to a container in Houston and had it cargoed over.
Oh man. Wow. And does that mean you went to Belize to
Oh, yes.
oversee?
I love Belize.
That
Yes.
is just incredible. What a story. What you do fun stuff. Like
Mhm.
this is super cool. And
Yeah,
even
it's
just
fun.
knowing that you have the trust of somebody, their place is the other half of the world. You fly to another state to meet them and then take them shopping and form that relationship
Mhm.
and they make their selection and then it's off and running. That's pretty amazing. That's got to make you feel great.
It is. It's quite rewarding. Um, that we had a videographer follow us on the last buying trip that we did with one of our clients who's, a male. So he was expecting it to be a stressful situation, but he ended up loving it. And so they captured all of that behind the scenes, his reactions. And then at dinner that night, he was just blown away. He says, "This has been the best experience I've ever had." He says, "You need to do this to everybody because everyone needs this experience." And it was it was great just to have somebody who was not anticipating it being a good thing because he's not a shopper
Mm.
to go to a place with 4,000 stores. But we selected 12 to take him to, and all 12 was exactly what he was looking for, and we accomplished the whole house in a day and a half.
How long was that shopping trip?
Day. We were there for 3 days, but we got everything solidified, fabrics, patterns, rugs, everything in a day and a half.
So before we close out today, just want to share with everybody, you do so much, but we've never mentioned this before. Along with interior design, the home staging, the commercial staging, Airbnb. I believe a lot of people forget about that. You could have a designer come in and take care of that. And I'm thinking too, since there's a turnover in Airbnbs, that you can get things that are durable, that are going to last, but without breaking the budget.
Yes.
Real quick, tell us about the Airbnb design experience.
So the one in Belize was an Airbnb.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he bought another property and wanted to turn that into an Airbnb. So we work on the demographics of who's going to be staying there, and we create a design and a plan around that, including all of the activities that they would have. The one we did in Sedona, it was the largest Airbnb in Sedona. We completed that project. I worked with all the local vendors and asked them if they would do something a little different for this particular Airbnb because it sleeps so many people, if they would all come to the house and pick everybody up. So we made arrangements with all the vendors there for all the tours, helicopters, everything, to pick up everybody at that house and then take them on the excursions. And then we created a special menu for that house. And we have a private chef that does the specific menu just for this particular house. I mean, they can alter it and change it, but we try to really set the houses that we work on above everybody else. And that one's won awards. I've seen all the Airbnbs that were available in Belize, and the one that we are completing is bar none.
Amazing.
It'll be the top. Yeah.
All I can say is look at the website, look at the portfolio, what we're talking about here, the everything we're talking about, it's all there. Just stunning, beautiful. The website is theluxurylook.com. I have that right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it theluxurylook.com? Kristine, thanks for taking us on the journey today. I feel like I went shopping with you there at the showroom, and looking forward next time we get together.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Yep, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.